Hello, lovely calculus students. I'm going to go through number 4 with you. So if you already were good with the first part of this, just skip forward a little bit in the video, and I will finish out the rest of it. Okay, so in class we, at a minimum, got through the x-intercepts, but I will recap those for you. So you want to factor out that lowest term, so x to the 1/3 times x minus 4, and that all equals 0. So we end up getting 0, 0, and 4, 0 as our x-intercepts. That pretty much automatically means we have a y-intercept of 0, 0 as well. We don't have horizontal or slant asymptotes with these expressions, so don't worry about that. Symmetry we did in class, but if you plug in negative x, and you simplify it, you actually end up with negative x to the 4/3 minus 4 times negative x to the 1/3. Simplify it and you get x to the 4/3 plus 4x to the 1/3. Okay, so there's actually no symmetry here. Our derivative was 4/3 x to the 1/3 minus 4/3 x to the negative 2/3, and when you set that equal to 0, you factor out 4/3 x to the negative 2/3, always your lowest power, which in this case is the most negative. So you end up with 0 and 1 for your critical values. Okay, I showed you a little shortcut in class to get those in your calculator pretty quickly, but you should end up with negative, negative, and plus. And remember, you're plugging those into your first derivative to test around. So increasing, it would be from 1 to infinity, and then it's decreasing everywhere else. So negative infinity to 0, union 0 to 1. Okay, our max is not a thing because we are going from decreasing to increasing, so no max. And our min is 1. To find my y value, I plug that 1 back into my original equation. I want you to pause the video, take a second, plug it into our original equation, and see what you get. Okay, you should get negative 3. Then we take our second derivative, which in this case, we again just have to use the power rule, which is kind of nice. So we end up with, you end up with 4/9 x to the negative 2/3 plus 8/9 x to the negative 5/3. Okay, so factor out what you think you can. I want you to try this before I give you the answer for that, so factor out what you can. Again, you want those least common terms. So think about what fraction is lower between 4/9 and 8/9. Okay, so you're going to factor out that 4/9 because then you can actually multiply by something else. You also want to factor out an x to the negative 5/3. Okay, and you end up with x plus 2, because remember 2 times 4/9 is going to give you 8/9. Okay, so you end up with, again, 0, but also negative 2 here. So negative 2 and 0, plug in values around your second derivative. Pause the video, take a second to do that. So you should end up with plus, minus, plus here. So your concave up from negative infinity to negative 2, union 0 to infinity. And then down, as you guys probably know, negative 2 to 0. Okay, so our points of inflection are going to be negative 2 and 0 because it changes concavity on both. When you plug them back in, you get 0 and 7.6. I'm okay with you doing the decimal there. I want you to see if you can make the chart on this. We've done it a few times now. Use your inflection points and your critical values to make them. So try them on your own, and then I'll have it up in a sec. Okay, so we have increasing and decreasing. This is concavity. Again, we'll do what you need to do, whatever makes more sense to you on the chart, with pluses and minuses and all that. But we have negative infinity to negative 2, right? Because that's the lowest value we see. Then we have negative 2 to 0, 0 to 1, and 1 to infinity. Okay, so if you look at the first part, you're just looking at the increasing, decreasing part. Again, if you want to do plus minuses, that's okay. I tend to do like decreasing, 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 increasing, and then I do the same thing with concavity, up, down, up, and up. And you can either see me or Miss Mack is going to be in the classroom, so she can help you as well if you have questions as to why those are so. And then for the last part, you want to sketch it. So make sure you graph your points that you know already, right? So you're going to have your 0, 0, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, comma 0 is our other x-intercept. Okay, so we have those 2 points. Then we have our minimum, which is 1 comma negative 3. And then you also know that a point of inflection is happening at negative 2 comma 7.6. So right up here is going to change concavity. And then also 0 is going to change concavity. So if we're decreasing and we're concave up from the beginning, you're looking like that. Okay, then we're decreasing and we're concave down. So that's why that point was a point of inflection. Then we're decreasing and concave up, so again, point of inflection, increasing and up, and it goes through that point. So your graph looks a little weird, but that's what it ends up looking like. All right, when you're done, please make sure that you start on number 5 in your notes. And then, again, feel free to get help on this. I will go over any questions on Thursday if you have them, but make sure that you finish the rest of the homework packet if you finish this early. Have a great rest of your day.